Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you've been having a good summer so far. And if you're new here, my name's Clinton Jones, also known as the Pwnisher. And for the last 5+ years, we've been doing these 3D community challenges. You may have seen them, the top 100 montages of everyone's cool art with custom music. They're a lot of fun to watch and even more fun to participate in. And if you've been looking to join one of these challenges, then start your engines because it's time for our 11th 3D challenge, the Rampage Rally, where we're challenging you to build out this provided template and send your vehicle of choice off a sweet jump by August 31st. It doesn't matter what program you use or how long you've been using it. This challenge is for everyone looking to learn, level up, and grow alongside a community of like-minded visual artists. So what can you make in this challenge? Well, as long as you use the template, honestly, whatever you can think of. Like a record-breaking monster truck jump. What about a motorcycle clearing a drawbridge just as it opens up over choppy waters? What about a runaway train that jumps an underground volcano? Or like a buff robot riding a buff horse as it jumps off a cliff to avoid an army of super intelligent worms. Look, if you can think it, you can create it. The goal here is for your render to flow into the next so we can build the largest big air 3D art montage this side of the net. So we've prepared the following rules to guide you in the right direction. You'll want to first replace the provided vehicle proxy with your own vehicle. Second, you'll need to jump the provided gap. Third, you need to maintain the sense of speed and direction, and finally, use the provided camera. I'll get into the details on all these rules later. But for the artists who are putting pedal to the metal this month and gunning for a glorious place in the curated top 100 artist montage, winning a bunch of prizes from our list of sponsors, and going on to be considered for the top 5 Rampage Rally champions, then listen up, because here's what we're looking for in a winning render. We'll be looking for renders that can first and foremost tell a story. The template is only 6 seconds long, which granted is not a lot of time for story, but it's very possible to weave in and a crucial component for winning renders. Next, we're looking for lighting and render quality. Usually great lighting is what makes me stop and watch a render over and over. We like looking at well-lit things. It's a huge factor in making your art look professional. And same for quality, don't just denoise a noisy render. You can always tell. Animation is another category we'll be looking for. Great animation can often go unseen because things just look and feel right. However, the opposite is true. We've seen one too many great pieces of art fall flat due to janky animation. We're also looking for good composition. How well do all of your elements play together visually? How do your shapes flow into each other? And how are you using them to guide my eye to what's important in your scene? And the last and maybe most important piece to a winning render is its ability to follow the rules. Again, more on that in a second. How you combine all of these elements to craft your unique render is up to you this month. So build something that plays to your strengths, doesn't depend on your weaknesses, and is actually accomplishable by the deadline of Sunday, August 31st at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. For our guest judges this time, we'll be joined by a YouTube veteran who's been posting VFX shorts since 2010. Coming all the way from India, let's welcome Raghav from Shutter Authority to the 3D challenges. And these challenges wouldn't be the same without our next judge. He won first place in our very first challenge back in 2020 and has the highest rank on our Discord server for weeklies. You guessed it, Visual is coming back for Rally Rampage. And the last of the guests here, we are teaming up with my favorite video game DJ on YouTube. He's curated and performed top shelf mixes for Ape Escape, Bomberman, and Tekken, and crafted the best retro PlayStation mixes on the net. Coming all the way from Brazil, let's give a warm welcome to DDCo, who's cooking up an 11-minute track for the top 100 montage. So let's get you started. The Rampage Rally site is where you'll find any and all challenge related info. Go there to download the starter files, grab all the free for the month assets, brush up on the rules and FAQs, and download the challenge calendar. So for the starter files, we got Blender, Unreal Engine, Cinema 4D, Maya, and FBX of course for artists using Max, Houdini, or whatever else. Once you open the scene files, you'll notice the essentials are already set up. We have a pre-animated camera move with a preset focal length, a vehicle proxy that you'll replace with your vehicle of choice, and a ramp that you'll incorporate into your idea. The project file itself has a locked frame count of 144 frames, no more, no less. It's also 24 frames per second and has a locked resolution of 1920 by 810. You can double check all of these settings in the tech specs section here on the site. It's important you don't change these things because they're here to make sure all the renders flow into each other in the final montages and guarantee you don't get DQ'd. After downloading the starter files, you'll want to download the free for the month assets. They're not required, but a huge help along the way because these are full program unlocks with no strings attached. This time around, we have Marvelous Designer free for everybody. And you'd be saying, hey Clint, isn't this a vehicle challenge? Yeah, it's a vehicle challenge, but Marvelous is a cloth sim software. You can use it for more than just clothes. Anything from flags, tarps, soft body physics, ribbon, cable, you name it. And the person who uses Marvelous Designer in the most creative and out-of-the-box way wins the Marvelous Award, which is $500 in your pocket and a spotlight feature from the Marvelous Designer team. Joining us for their first challenge, let's welcome the Gnomon Workshop. The Gnomon Workshop is a VFX and 3D school that has been around since 1995. And their VFX and 3D courses are taught by the pros, the people who worked on Star Wars, Star Trek, Alien, Love, Death and Robots, God of War, Avatar, The Last of Us, and Uncharted, to name a few. It's honestly a goldmine of high quality curated tutorials, and they're hooking you guys up with a free course on vehicle modeling techniques, which will surely come in handy for anyone out there attempting to create your own vehicle from scratch this month. From Jenga Effects, they're unlocking their entire Elemental suite free of charge. It's made up of EmberGen, a real-time volumetric fluid sim software for creating fire, smoke, explosions, and all that other cool stuff. LiquidGen for real-time liquid sims, GeoGen for procedural environments, and their latest creation, IlluGen, their new super weapon for creating procedural VFX assets. It seamlessly marries 2D and 3D workflows and condenses VFX asset creation into one tool. And finally, we got Fox Render Farm, who's back to open up their cloud servers for any artist that needs some remote render power this month when it comes time to submit your art. You can grab a $50 render coupon using the code FOXRENDER and another $25 for new registrants. All right, y'all, let's pause and take a minute here to talk about these rules and FAQs, because every time we launch a challenge, people always ask which idea is okay, which idea isn't, and which one will get them DQ'd from the montages. We try to design these rules as black and white as possible, but the reality is there's some gray, and some artists lean into the gray and pull it off, others get lost. The main thing you want to ask yourself is, will my idea flow visually with everyone else's in the montage? While there's no way we can answer every single question, we can arm you with the knowledge to answer those questions yourself. So let's break down the first 4 rules together. Now, the first rule is pretty straightforward. The bad example on the left clearly is not replacing the vehicle proxy, but sticking their vehicle next to it. It's not in the same place, and it breaks the flow of the montage. The example on the right is moving around the proxy, but it's starting in the right place, ending in the right place, and using the vehicle proxy as a reference point for where the vehicle's at through the entire shot. This is a good example of bending the rules. Rule number 2, we essentially want everyone's airtime to be relatively the same. The example on the left is technically jumping a gap, yes, but it's not the size of the provided gap, thus breaking the flow of the montage. The example on the right, however, isn't technically jumping a gap because it's an airplane, but it has the feeling of airtime. You're gonna have a lot of people jumping a literal gap in the render, like the template above, which is gonna look awesome. Other people will have ideas that are outside of the box. The important thing regarding the jump here is that you must maintain the feeling of jumping a gap and use the template as a guide for your perceived airtime. Third, for speed and direction, the example on the left doesn't maintain the sense of speed, even though it's moving super fast. It appears to be immobile due to the lack of reference objects in the scene. I mean, it's why we're adding the checkerboard texture to the template render above, so you can feel the speed of the thing. Now, the example on the right is playing with direction. The car is pointing backwards, but it's driving in the correct direction. Now, this one has been called "Don't Touch the Camera" in the past because it's one of the most important elements responsible for gluing all of our renders together in the montages. As soon as you point the camera over here, over there, change the focal length, etc., it's just a different shot from a so don't do it. The example on the right though uses the template camera, but it's just adding some camera shake and motion blur, all the little things that add to a render but don't inherently change the camera angle. If you have any more questions about the rules, the template, or the challenge in general, I'll be live streaming right after the launch of this video and helping everyone get on the right track. I'll be doing challenge dedicated streams every Friday this month at 10:45 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and all the other important release dates like the montages, the judging stream, and the submission links will be here on the site as well. You can even download a Google Calendar file if you're trying to go super hard. But it's time to talk about these prizes. All right, so if your render gets into the top 100 montage, you're walking away with a handful of cool stuff. First up, from Marvelous Designer, you're gonna get 2 months of their glorious software to help you not only design clothes for any of your characters, but simulate any number of cloth sims for your future projects. The Gnomon Workshop is gonna give you a 1-month subscription to their 300+ workshops taught by their 200+ professional artists. Jenga Effects is gonna hook you up with their entire Elemental suite for 2 months, and Fox Render Farm is gonna give you a $100 render coupon so you can cloud render any project you'd like. And finally, Kaft, the Turkish design brand, is gonna give you 1 t-shirt of your choosing. Now, what t-shirt would you choose? I don't know. Maybe this sweet one from our last challenge, Chasm's Call. You might actually recognize this little robot guy. He's designed by artist Yuren Singh and has been entering our challenges since Endless Engines, I believe. So it's cool to see him immortalized on a t-shirt. You can grab one now if you want. Link down in the description. And more on how you can get your art turned into a t-shirt at the end of this video. So that does it for the top 100. But what if your art comes into any of the top 5 spots? Marvelous Designer is giving you 1 year to their software. The Gnomon Workshop is giving you a year as well. From Jenga FX, the Elemental Suite just permanent, forever. And if you've had it before, you're gonna get another year of maintenance. You're gonna get Rococo Pro for 1 year, which gives you access to Rococo Vision, their suitless motion capture solution. Which reminds me, though this is a vehicle challenge, yes, of course there'll still be characters in this thing. Rococo Studio has a free motion capture library that you can tap into, and Rococo Vision for suitless motion capture is free if you're just using the 1 camera option. And finally, Kaft is gonna give you $250 toward anything on their site. That's shirts, jackets, pants, bags, beanies, you name it. And here's where we get into some specific prizes here. From XP Pen, you'll be winning a Deco Pro Gen 2 drawing tablet, and you get to choose the size of your choice. I love their tablets because it's not only good for your long-term wrist health as a working artist, but also just gives you a ton more control over what you're doing on your computer, whether that's drawing, browsing the web, or I don't know, I guess the only thing I don't use it for is like first-person shooters, but that would actually be pretty wild. And finally, Fox Render Farm is giving the 5th place artist $400 and the 4th place artist $500 toward their cloud rendering service. All right, from 3rd and up, it's just gonna get crazier and crazier. You're gonna get from Rococo a choice between their head rig for iOS or their head cam for Android, which captures your facial performance up to 60 FPS, which will save you a ton of time when animating your 3D characters. XP Pen is upping the ante and giving you their Artist Pro 16 Gen 2 drawing display. It's got a beautiful color accurate screen, 16,000 levels of pen pressure, and unlocks your creativity with a 2.5K display. And finally, for 3rd, Fox Render Farm is giving you $600 toward their cloud rendering service. If your art comes in 2nd for all of your hand and finger tracking needs, as well as your choice between their head rig or head cam, XP Pen is upping it again to their Artist Pro 19 Gen 2 drawing display for a whopping 4K resolution, a color accurate display, and of course you know about them 16,000 levels of pen pressure goodness. And finally, from Fox Render Farm, you know it, $700 toward their cloud rendering service for all of your future projects. And if your art comes in 1st place, Rococo is back, giving you a full performance capture bundle, which comes with their Smart Suit Pro 2, the smart gloves, the head rig or head cam. You're also getting a Coil Pro, which acts as a ground truth piece of hardware for all of your hardware-based motion capture projects. XP Pen is giving you the mothership of all displays. It's their Artist 24 Pro Gen 2 drawing display. This thing comes out with a crisp 165Hz, 2.5K color accurate display. These drawing displays are top of the line and will bring your illustrations and 3D art to the next level. And from Fox Render Farm, you're getting an $800 render coupon for all of your cloud rendering needs. All right, so let's talk about how to get your art on a t-shirt here. So Kaft is gonna choose one of the top 100 artists to receive $1,000 and have their Rampage Rally art turned into a custom t-shirt. It'll be the third time they offer this prize. The second you're seeing here, the first we did for Kinetic Rush. So I'm excited to see what I'll be wearing in our 12th challenge announcement video. Let's be honest, it's rare to have surprise prizes on these challenges because our sponsors are very dedicated every time we do these things. But this next one is a first for all of us. It's an honor to welcome Puget Systems, makers of the finest VFX and 3D workstations money can buy, to these challenges. And they'll be raffling off one of their top of the line mobile workstations to any US or Canadian based artist who submits a render for Rampage Rally. And lastly, you guys know from Marvelous, they're offering $500 toward the best out of the box use of Marvelous Designer, and you'll receive a handful of feature spotlights across all of their main channels. So what do you got to lose? Let's learn and grow together. Tell your friends. I'll see you on our Discord server. It's free. We got a lot of like-minded artists up in there. It's a good time. And I'm live streaming right now, answering all of your questions, taking a look at the template together, talking about the rules, and I'll make sure you get started on the right foot. Rampage Rally, let's go.
This August, grab your keyboards and spin up your hard drives because it's time for the Rampage Rally, our 11th 3D community challenge. Put your unique spin on this big air 3D template and create with artists from across the globe. Shift into high gear to make the top 100 montage with custom music by DDCO. Or gun for the top 5 and win big. Sponsored by Puget Systems, Rococo, Marvelous Designer, The Gnomon Workshop, and more. Rotate those tires, crank up the NOS, and download the starter files right now. This August, hang on to your assets, because you're gonna need them.
It's true, y'all, it's true. You will need your 3D assets for this one, because we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun ahead of us over this month. It's gonna be sick. I can't wait. We're doing it. Rampage Rally, our 11th 3D challenge. Thanks to everyone who's up in chat right now. You guys have stuck with us for 5 years. If you're new here, welcome. It's good to have you. These challenges are so much fun. They're so much fun. They're also so much work to get to this point. To get to this point right here, like, oh my God, we've worked so hard. So I gotta shout out. Okay, now I can't forget anybody. I gotta shout out the challenge team, Visual. You've been such a great help on all of this. Folio for building the website. Ronan, Saipo, Connor, Sotomonte. Sotomonte's stream producing right now. What's up, Soto? I'm missing someone. I know I'm missing someone. The mods for holding it down on our Discord server, which if you're not a part of, get up in there. It's the best way to create during this month with everybody. Yeah, you can do it on your own, but that's like the sad lame way. Get up in this freaking Discord server. It's a blast. Who else do I need to shout out? For all the sponsors, like throwing in all those prizes. Those prizes are insane. You guys probably saw him. You just came from the announcement video. It's ridiculous this time around. Freaking crazy. Yeah, Puget's throwing in a full mobile workstation. We got motion capture suits, years of software to give out. But I know you guys are here for the community and for the art. So let me make sense of my two screens here, and I'm gonna let me get the chat pulled up first, because it's been a crazy week, y'all. It's been a crazy week. Let's see. Let's get this going. Let's get this chat popping off here. What's up, everybody? Yes, everyone's up in here. What's good? Good to see y'all. Welcome, welcome. Discord link in the description. It is in the description. It's just not at the top. It's in the join the community section. So get up in there. And all of the stuff, like anything that you need for the challenge is going to be in the landing page that Folio put together. It's the first link in the description of every video that we make throughout this challenge. So the website is the place to be to get all the stuff, and then go to the Discord, which you can find through this video in the description or through the website. That's where you're going to work with everybody together. What's up, everybody? Where's everyone coming from this morning, this evening, perhaps? I know we got Sotomonte up in Spain, MDK coming from Finland. We got visual from Canada. We got a big international group here, guys. India, yes, India. We have a lot of Indian artists joining us on these challenges. I think they were number 3 for most submissions last time. We got Austria, England, Montreal, Syria, Czech Republic. Shoutouts Folio, South Korea, Nigeria, New Zealand, Oman, California. What up? Chicago up in here. Yes, France, Turkey, Nepal, Texas. Guys, we're coming together. It's an international group. We're doing it. We're doing it. I love it. Egypt, Quebec, Algeria. Shoutouts, guys. Thank you for being here. I don't know what. That's some crazy time zone stuff. I don't even want to think about. Who is? It's the latest for like one person. It's probably like 3 a.m. for somebody. For Edge, if he's in here. Australia. Alright, guys, we're gonna get into your questions. We're gonna get into this template. We're gonna break it down together. Do me a favor. Pull up the website and go to the FAQs section. Just scan it. Read it. Because I know that most of the questions y'all are going to ask are going to be up in that FAQ section. But y'all watch the announcement video, so you know you're going to download the starter files. You're going to download all the free for the month assets. I saw that Jenga link was still 404 error. Don't worry. I hit up the Jenga boys and put in, just let them know. They know. They're aware. And we're going to get that fixed for you ASAP. Download those starter files. We're going to make sure that all those files are good. They've been tested time and time and again. But if there's any little tweaks that need to be made, we'll be putting all the updated, all the updates, all the announcements going to be on the Discord side of things. So definitely get on that Discord. Go to the Rampage Rally channels. Hit that green checkbox down at the bottom, and that'll open up the rest of the channels for you. So definitely do that. Someone says they love Peter France. Is Peter France in the chat right now? Because I love Peter as well. All right, we got our first question. Adi Khan. You see that AI question? Sotomonte, the @Pwnisher. There it is. Can we use AI? Like Higgsfield or Smith? I don't know what that is. Just for testing AI platforms. I don't know. That sounds. I don't know about that. No, you cannot use AI. Any generative AI in this. No backgrounds. No textures. No, this is all old school, guys. Old school. You'll be DQ'd if we catch you using any generative AI. This is not an AI challenge. And we are firmly against anybody using anyone's art here on the channel my art, your art, for training AI. Firmly against that. So that's a nah. That's a big nah. We got a super chat. Where's my man Fabricio? Dude, Fabricio's probably taking it easy up in Brazil right now, up in Rio. Probably on a beach somewhere. Kicking back, enjoying the Friday. Yeah, shout out to Fabricio. All right, I'm gonna switch over. I'm just gonna get this template playing. We're in question mode. You guys probably have got a bunch of questions. Hit me with the @Pwnisher. 3D Bub is asking, can we use assets from Sketchfab? Yes, you can use assets. You can use assets, y'all. You can use assets. It's fine. Pangu says, I imagine using AI is only okay for ideas, like for testing ideas, but for big test, no. Like, I mean, yeah, we can't tell if you're using AI to like concept and all this and whatnot. So I mean, yeah, I guess that's fine. It's personal choice there. Let's see. All right, guys, here we go with the questions. This is good. Sadness Ocean, will you add the Pit of Despair? Yes, the Pit of Despair is back. So please make sure you make your jump so you don't end up in the pit. Anyone who doesn't, I'm not gonna say that. Don't end up in the Pit of Despair. But by a show of hands, who doesn't know what the Pit of Despair is? Just by a show of hands, like, who doesn't know about that Pit of Despair? I'm curious. I'll explain it in a second. But we got a super chat from Render Peach. Thank you. I appreciate that. Great to be back. My favorite template so far. Yes. Perfect. Yes. Guys, you know what? Something funny. After Chasm's Call, our 10th challenge, wrapped in like March of last year. Earlier this year. We got working on, okay, I see we got it with some hands who don't know what the Pit of Despair is. We're going to get you. But we started working on a 3D challenge template like right after the last challenge. And we were taking it easy. Like once a week we would meet and just brainstorm and start doing some test templates, see what it was like. And we came up with this idea that we were like, it's just the best idea ever. And we went hard on it. Like we got to the point where like we had, I mean, this was the issue with it, but we got like a couple different versions of the template. We were reaching out to like sponsors to help us do this crazy thing. And it got to like be a month before this challenge. And we're like, guys, we can't do this challenge that we spent all this time thinking about. Like we can't crack it. We needed like one extra thing. It needed like one thing. And we was like, we have to shelf it and like just let it bake in the oven. We'll come back to it when we have clear, fresh eyes. And we came up, we were like, we need a second template that if this other one doesn't work, this one has to work. And we built this in like a day. Not like what you're seeing final here, but we came up with like the concept for this in a day. And we're like, this is it. We love it. This is the best. Like, let's do this. So crazy turning gears right there. The last second. What feels like the last second. It was like a month and a half, probably. All right, let me explain what this Pit of Despair is. Victor Salamonte, if you want to get that comment up there. Victor Novorsky, what is the pit? So the Pit of Despair is an infamous part of these challenges. You don't want to end up in the pit, and I'm being 100% serious. You do not want to end up in the Pit of Despair. The Pit of Despair just means you got disqualified. That's all that means. And people can fall into that pit for a number of reasons. Usually, the quickest way for artists to fall into the Pit of Despair is to not double check their tech specs, okay? Can someone in the chat tell me where they can find the tech specs? It's a test. I want to know where you can find the tech specs, okay? So you're going to look at the tech specifications, which are 24 frames per second 144 frames, not 143, not 145, 144 frames, okay? 24 frames per second, not 23,976, not 25, not 30, not 60, 24. Resolution, 1920 by 810, not 1920 by 1080, 1920 by 810. You guys are right, the website, that's where you're gonna find the tech specs on the website. What else? 1920 by 810 or 3840 by 1620 is also acceptable. That's like the 4K version, because we're not 16:9. We're like widescreen 2:37 ratio. So it's 1920 by 810, not 1920 by 1080. Don't be fooled. Other tech specs would be like, I mean, those are the main ones. File type, yeah. If I can't read your file type in DaVinci, if it doesn't auto import and I can read it, DQ'd. So that's why we have those file types also in there. I think it's like MOV or like H.264, H.265 or something like that. So if you don't follow those, like literally the way I judge this, I download everything. I filter by who followed the tech specs. All the ones that didn't, pit of despair, DQ'd. So don't fall into the pit of despair, please. You're gonna work very hard for the next 30 days. So follow the rules, I'll give you an example. So right now, as you guys know, the Gnomon Workshop is joining us for this challenge, which is freaking sweet. I kind of knew of the Gnomon Workshop, and they're in North Hollywood. They have a physical location, the Gnomon School in North Hollywood. And I got a tour of it. It was insane. I was like, oh my God, I wish I went here. And we walked into the sculpture room, you know, people like using their hands to move clay around and all the coolest like action figure type, like they're huge figures are just lined the whole room. And I was like, this is insane. I have to take this class. So I'm on week 4 now of this 10-week class. And it's so cool. I'm loving it. I love like working with my hands. Every like in high school, middle school, always did art as an elective. So it's cool to kind of get back to another way of creating that I used to love as a kid. Oh, there is my voice. Let's see. Anyway, long story short, teacher John Brown told a story of when he was making a toy, I think for like Hasbro or something. He was making a Star Wars character. He had the specifications from the client, Hasbro, and he made the figure. He sculpted the figure. It was an action figure. He was sending pictures. They loved it for the months that he was making it. He shipped it to them. They never got back to him like, what's up? He found out that he was 1/8 of an inch off in the measurement of the model, and it didn't fit in the box. And he never got a call back from them, okay? So the point is, follow the rules. Like, people can get fired for this stuff if it's a real world situation. This is more of like a low stakes, I guess, situation. It's not a job, right? So that's why, I mean, that's why we take it seriously. Also, I don't have all the time in the world to like double check everyone's tech specs, you know. Anyway, that's the pit of despair. Back to some questions here. Can the vehicle be a character? Paparella VFX. Can the vehicle be a character? There is an FAQ on this, and it's a vehicle challenge at the end of the day, guys. It's a vehicle challenge. But your vehicle can be any mode of transportation. If you want that to be a person riding something, like a horse, a bear, whatever, like, yeah, that's totally fine. As long as they take up this amount of space generally, they fill this kind of area of the frame, right? if you have a character running, just run a character running, like it's not, this challenge isn't really that. It's a stretch, like it's kind of hazy. That's like where we get into the gray again. It's a vehicle challenge. I don't know. Someone could do a character and pull it off in a crazy way if you can justify it. But it's a vehicle challenge. That's all I'm saying. Tech deck with fingers on top? Yeah, that's sick. That's sick. Avil. That's a good question. Very good question. There's a second ramp on the end for the loop. Can we remove it in the vehicle? Disappear at the end. Yeah, it doesn't need, you don't have to have like that second ramp at the end. Like it could be a straightaway. That's actually a good question. Yeah, that's a good question. Really, it's just about jumping the gap, clearing the gap. If you look at the rules and you really think about the rules, then you would know, yeah, you could take that out. I guess we just left it there for it to loop here. But no, you don't have to have another ramp there. It can be a straightaway or another turn or something. Just as long as your vehicle still like moves out of frame, goes out frame right, you can do whatever you want. The whole thing is to customize the ramp how you see fit. Good question. Chafee is asking, I still have less experience in Blender. Should I even participate? Of course you should participate. Like this is how you get better. If it's fun for you, if it sounds like fun, follow that, because not often, or I would say not all the time, do we as artists get excited about something and have an urge to dive in and do a thing. So when you feel the inspiration hit, go for it. Like that's your job as an artist, is to follow that inspiration. There's a really good, I think it was Paul McCartney or another Beatle. They were saying something about how like they had an idea for a song late one night and they just made the demo track, they made the temp version, the idea, the rough block out of the song throughout the night. And they were like, that's my job as an artist, is to follow that spark, follow the inspiration. Because if I don't, and I just had went to bed, woke up the next day, it wouldn't be the same as how I'm seeing it right now in this inspiration, like follow it, follow it, follow it. So at the end of the day, or at the end of the beginning of the morning, he had a great launch off point with this like V1 blockout demo track that he made. Then you go to bed and you work on it. So that's the point, is like, if you feel something with this, go for it. It doesn't matter if you've never touched Blender ever. Like this could be your way to learn Blender. And I know a lot of people have during these challenges. So that's a really good question. Yep. My name is Grape. Yes, the Jenga effects error is showing 404 error. We're on it. No worries. We'll get there. We are aware, and Jenga will be aware when they check their Discord. Let's see. 3D Bub is asking, do we add sound? It's not necessary. It's only for you. I'm not using it to judge. I'm not using it in the montages. But you could do it for your like your reels and whatnot. Let's see. What are some good questions? Let's have some good questions here. Shavim is like, can I do a flying character? Yeah, you can do a flying character if you like put them in some sort of like, I don't know, flying airplane thing. Like maybe they have some things strapped to them that are like allowing them to fly or something. Yeah. Our small items, Motikiti is asking, are small items like snowboards and skis allowed as vehicles? Like, Yeah, I don't see why. Why not? Pierre Oliver, are you participating this year in making a render too? So we'll see. I probably won't make a render, but I will probably make some sort of like intro thing like I did last for the last challenge for Chasm's Call. I'll make some sort of intro. That's the temp plan right now because I do want to be working alongside you guys. I'm also making a touch designer video that's going to come out at the end of this month. That's going to cover. So basically, I've been gone from the last challenge to this challenge. What have I been doing? I've been learning touch designer. Basically, I got kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to say bored. I don't want to say tired of. But I don't know. But maybe that's what it was. Like, I wasn't feeling challenged with the way I was making art. And I actually found myself going to this a lot. Like, I just wanted to make music. That's all I really wanted to do for the last like year. I just want to make music. So at the same time, I feel stressed because I'm like, well, I have my YouTube channel and it's all based around 3D and visual effects and everything, and like, but I'm not feeling inspired in that direction right now, and that kind of stressed me out, to be honest. And I was like, well, I really thought about it. And I was like, why is that? And noticing that, of course, that I'm going to this all the time. But I started to get really inspired about 3D art and visual effects by being here on the keyboard. And I was like, I gotta bridge these in some way, because like in my mind, I imagine the ultimate version of this, playing these keys and making music, is like to have a real-time audio reactive visual element that's just set up when I play. There's like crazy cool graphics happening, and I'm like, what is that? And I basically came to find out that's Touch Designer. And Touch Designer can be used to control like Unreal Engine, Ableton, Blender. It can control the lights in your room. Like, it's insane what you can do with Touch Designer. So I went deep into learning Touch Designer, and I knew that I needed a project to learn the program to like push me forward. And actually, this is where DDCo comes in. DDCo is a video game music DJ based in Brazil. He's doing the music for the Rampage Rally Top 100 montage. And I've been a fan of this dude for like a couple years now, because I'm a huge gamer. Like, got the Stardew Valley t-shirt on. I don't know. Games it's everything. Games is it's life. I don't know. That sounds cheesy, but I love video games so much. PS1, PS2, I grew up on all that. And DDCo has been doing these like PS1, PS2 mixes of like the craziest music, this like jungle drum and bass house. They're so good. He puts so much work into them. He mixes it all live, like he DJs it live. The Ape Escape one took him 2 weeks of practice to do it in one take. It is unbelievable, and he interviews the composers from those original games in the closed captions. So you're reading an interview from Soichi Terada, who made all the music for Ape Escape, while he's like DJing the music in real time. It's the best, and he does all the visuals in the back. Anyway, I love him. He said he's doing a Tekken mix, so I was like, dude, let's do this, because I got Tekken 3. Like, Tekken 3 was my first fighting game, and I went in deep and I made all these visuals using Touch Designer, learning Touch Designer for his Tekken mix. It's on his channel. You can check it out. I have his YouTube linked down below, DDCo, under guest musician. But just check it out. So that's what I've been doing the last, I don't know, 2.5 to 3 months. I was going all in on that. So that was fun. I'm excited to incorporate more of it. So I'm going to be making way long story short. Will I be making graphics for Rampage Rally? I'll probably be doing some touch designer stuff for it. I'll be having some fun with it. I'll be making that touch designer video as well this month. So we'll see how much I can get done for like intro stuff. Rampage Rally. Anyway, back to your questions. Yes, Tekken 3 was amazing. So good. All right. Endreet is asking if the animation doesn't follow the curve 100%. Is that a problem? I'm making animations with dynamics. Dynamics. If you go to the announcement video and you look up rules and FAQs deep dive, it's rule number 1. I'm explaining the difference between rule number 1. A good example of this, if we have my mouse here, let me try this. Let me try adding a text cube. Let's say this is your vehicle.
Nope.
Yeah. So let's say your vehicle's like drifting in and out. Like this is fine. It's like kind of coming in here, like doing a little flip or something. Hold on. I gotta get my handle on this. It's like moving around like this. Like that's okay. Whoop. As long as it generally follows like the vibe of this. Whoa, goes out, comes in, right? It's doing like this. That's okay. Up and down. It's all good. This is not good. I'll be doing this over here. You want to be up in this area. This is all fine. This is dancing around. This is the visual weight concept, right? You're feeling the vehicle proxy with your... Sorry, guys. I only got like 5 hours of sleep last night. My brain. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying, right? You're feeling this general space with your thing. It could be moving around. It does not have to be locked like glue to that, okay? And on the website this time, if you go to the website and you look at the rules, there are rule explanations this time. Go to the website. Just scour the website. Please, like, maybe we should do an Easter egg hunt next challenge and, like, have people who find all the gold coins on the website get a prize. That way, maybe they'll watch everything. Maybe you guys will look at everything on the website first. Let's see. Shafee's asking, can I include multiple characters or just one character in my render? Yeah, multiple is fine. Multiple vehicles is fine. As long as you have this one here on screen as the focus, right? Brix Plox is asking if we have a flying character, can we remove the ramps? Yeah, but this is also a explanation of rule number 2 with the idea of an airplane is not technically going off a ramp, but we have the feeling of airtime when it goes off this ramp. And you could have ground rushing underneath that falls off and falls away. Because we still want the feeling, like, the ramp is in the template, okay? So we still want the feeling of, like, rushing ground, open, big open, vast space, rushing ground, big open, vast space. So you can have a flying character, like, hovering over like a cliff. The cliff drops out. We see the big breath of everything. They do a flip or something, and then they like connect with a cloud or something. I don't know. Hopefully that helps you out. Rodum is asking, how would you incorporate a submarine? I mean, same thing. Underwater chasm. You know, that's my go-to. That would be my first idea. You add water droplets on the camera. Yeah, you can do that. Can we change the tracks? I don't know what you mean by change the tracks, Arjun. I don't know what that means. Can you be more specific? I'm just reading all your guys' comments here. How about this, guys? How about this? I see a lot of questions, like very specific questions on can I do this or can I do that? I want you guys, at the end of every question that asks that, I want to see your answer, what you think the answer would be. Just a yes or a no. That's all I'm asking. Include that in your question. Because I want to get you guys, I want to help you guys think for yourselves on this. I'm not going to be here. Like this is it. Today is basically like, I'm answering as many questions as I can. Yes, you can do this. No, you can't. Yes, you can do this. No, you can't. But I want to make sure that you guys can answer those questions for yourselves. So where would you go to do that? Watch the announcement video, Rules and FAQs deep dive. Go to the website, look at the rules. That same section of that announcement video is broken up and plugged into each one of the rules on the website as well. Digital sewers. Yes, I'm glad you're excited. Me too. Me too. It's going to be good. CJB. Yes, you're correct. Can the ramp be destroyed? Yes, as long as it is present at some stage. Yeah, like they have to be going off a jump. And they have to be like they're landing it, or they're, you know, if you're an airplane, you're kind of swooping in. But yeah, like stuff can be destroyed as you're jumping off of it, or as you're landing, it's breaking behind you, or what, I don't know. Yeah, it's again, it's that perceived airtime. And the perceived airtime is from here to here. That's the perceived airtime. The other time is like ground time. If you were to remove the ramp, it feels a little different. You have to justify why they're moving up like this. And we say, rule number 3, keep the sense of speed and direction. This doesn't really keep the sense of speed, does it? This looks like it's moving really slow. When you throw the ground in, now we're moving fast. That's what we mean by keep the sense of speed. Yo, what up, Metatrox? Yeah, I'm excited for Vehicle Challenge as well. Again, guys, if you're asking questions, I want your answer, what you think is the answer, whether it's a yes or a no, included in your question. I'm kind of skipping the ones that don't do that right now, okay? I want to hear what you think. Dr. Schlerm, can the vehicle crash through something during the jump while keeping the same sense of speed? You are correct. Yes, yes. Of course, of course. I mean, are you guys... I'm just curious. Are you guys asking this, like, to say, is my idea good? Or are you asking this because you're worried about getting disqualified? Because I don't want everyone, like, terrified to get of being disqualified. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that stressful. It's not that bad. All right, Scratch is asking, can the camera remain level to the horizon during the jump if I want to look at something in the distance? I assume no, but I want it. Yeah, I mean, that's not really the template camera. So you're gonna have to figure out another way to do it. Maybe the ground drops off and you're looking at like something deep in the distance that's not on the horizon. So yes, that would be touching the camera. That would be moving the camera, which is not allowed. Creative Keyman is asking, I don't think I understand how the transition to the next clip is going to work. Can you talk some more about that? Yes, I will show you. I'll do you better. I'll show you. All right. Here's what I'm gonna do. We'll pull up Endless Engines and show you what it will look like. It'll look like this. This is how it will transition from render to render. It's not a seamless loop, but we're cutting on the action. That's how it's gonna work. Yeah. All right. Earlier stream is still going. Whoa. Did I do that? Whoa. What? It's an hour and 2 minutes? Yo! Oh. Epic fail, guys. That's brutal. This is what happens. See, this is why launch is so stressful. There's always something that sneaks in. Some critical failure that sneaks in and like snipes you right at the end. Oh. Hey. This was me last night at 1 a.m. exporting the final video. This is what happens. Ugh. Brutal. I guess we can trim it afterwards. I guess it's not that big of a deal. Jenga is on it, guys, by the way. Yeah, it's fine. We'll figure that out. Yeah. All right. John Malcolm. Too long, didn't read. Follow the rules. Beyond that, do whatever you please. End of story. Yes, thank you, John Malcolm. Let's see. Belly is asking, can I make the camera rotate around the car during the jump if it goes back to the normal position? No. No way. And A is asking, so does it need to enter and exit the scene? Yes, it does. It does. It's baked into the starter file. So replace the vehicle proxy. That means enter and exit. HRLD Herlemendel is asking, if I use a creature, does it require to have someone or something mounted on it? You think it wouldn't pass as a mode of transportation if there's no character mounted on it? Yeah, I would probably go with a mount. Like if you're doing, it's a vehicle challenge. It's a vehicle challenge. You know, no one's entering a race or a rally on foot. You need a vehicle. You're gonna we clearly have a lot of people who want to like not do a vehicle, but it is a vehicle challenge. So I would just try and justify it as best you can to mode of transportation as possible. Please, please, please. No more vehicle questions. You guys are asking, can I do all these other things that are a mode of transportation? Yes, you can. 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 Yes, it can crash if it follows the vehicle proxy here. Goes out to the right. Absolutely. All right, what else do we need to get into here? I'm trying to think. I guess I can show the website a little bit. Let's do that. Boom, we live. Sweet. So yeah, if you guys hadn't seen this yet, this is our landing page, right? This is where you get started. You'll download the template here. You'll grab all your free for the month assets here. Jenga effects, hopefully is live. We'll be live soon. We'll be live soon. But the rest here is good to go. Marvelous Designer, they got you guys for 30 days. We got a vehicle modeling course from the Gnomon Workshop. Well, there should be a vehicle modeling course from the Gnomon Workshop. I'm gonna make a note there. Folio, if you're watching, gotta get that vehicle link going. Let's see, Collider. Got me back to work, but super stoked. Looking forward to another great challenge. Also, would love for all the newbies to join us on Discord for great discussions and feedback. Y'all, come on over. Absolutely. Collider, thank you for the support. Really appreciate it. And yes, I got a hydrate card. Yes, I need that. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Blood. It's coming. But yeah, Collider, you're right. Y'all get up on the Discord. It's the best way to do it. A lot of those people will answer your questions and help you out. It's more fun with the community too. So good times. So the Gnomon vehicle course should just be free. So if it's not right now, we're gonna make sure that it is as soon as possible. So we'll get you guys on that. Fox Render Farm as well, $75 for the collab rendering service this month. We get a little 5% off for Coco store discount if you guys are trying to grab anything from that side of the world. What else? All the FAQs. Does my vehicle have to do a jump? Does the jump have to be successful? Can my vehicle be an airplane, a boat, a mount, have no engine at all? All these questions and more are answered here in the FAQs. And we'll be adding some as you guys ask questions that we didn't think of here. Like that, can I delete the ramp at the end? Does it have to loop kind of thing? That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Stet Dog is asking, sorry if this has been already asked, I'm just tuning in. Can we replace the ramp as long as we keep the depth, etc., like for oceans, aircraft? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, okay, Sam is saying that I'm assuming you're talking about the Gnomon link, that it already works, you just got to click the start free trial. Okay. Okay. It should just be free for the month. We'll see. I'll follow up on that. That's funny. Should also be making a contest to make the music for the 3D challenge. It'd be fun to do this, like a challenge like this, but with music. Or that makes a music challenge like these challenges. I also want to do a game like this. That would be crazy if we all made a level or something. In a big side-scrolling platformer. Like, that would be really fun. Anyway, let's see what else. What else on the site here? Yeah, we got the schedule popping off, so if you guys are curious, like when things are happening, obviously all that's there. Shout outs to the team down here. What else? What else? Our guests, all of our glorious guests. All those prizes, of course. And the tech specs. Very important with the rules and tech specs. You can click these now and get clarification on each one of these rules here. So these like top 4 are like the creative rules, and the bottom ones are kind of like you know, 1 submission per artist, 1 artist per submission, no generative AI, submit by this time, that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's pretty much like everything besides like all your guys' specific questions on can I do this or can I do that. If anyone has any other questions, I'm happy to hang out for a little bit longer. Just Friends, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. Hope to see you throughout the month here. Yeah, David, that's fine. Go for it, man. Yeah. Yeah, this stream is for you guys. I want to make sure everyone's feeling comfortable and like has what they need. Yeah, we can play with this a little bit too. Do some brainstorming. Do you guys have, like, by a show of hands, who has an idea already of where they want to go with this? By a show of hands. Juan, you're asking, can the vehicle at some point be a character like someone ejecting from a plane? Like, I think it'd be sick. Yeah, it's like an airplane. They eject and get into another airplane or something. That would be crazy. Yeah, we got a lot of hands. Yes. Yes. Heck yeah. All right, so let me give you all a little bit of advice on this. And it's stuff that I mentioned in the announcement video. But, you know, we talk about what this is going to be judged on. First and foremost, story. Can you tell a story in these 6 seconds? It's very possible. But really, story, that's the thing that, like, sets other renders apart from all the ones that don't tell a story. Oh, we got a super chat. We got a card draw. Sit up or stand down. Thank you. Oh. Much appreciated, my friend Michael. Shout outs to you. Ah. Ah. Yes, indeed. Thank you, my friend. No message either. Just a good old support. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of work goes into setting up all these challenges, so it means a lot. Appreciate it. That's what's up, man. Thank you, thank you. Advice. We were talking about what this is going to be judged on, okay? So, first and foremost, story. That's just going to set your render apart from any other render. Next will be lighting and render quality. Like, I mentioned, like I said, I mentioned all this stuff in the announcement video, but good lighting is what makes me stop and watch your render over and over and over again. That's like the barrier, I'd say the barrier to entry, but if a render has like really poor lighting, it's very easy just to gloss over. If you catch me with something that looks professional, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna look at it over and over. That's what kind of like gets me in, right? And then from that point, I'm looking at everything. I'm looking at your story, I'm looking at your render quality, I'm looking at all the objects you're using, I'm looking at your animation, all that stuff. So you kind of hook me with good lighting. So it's very important. It's very important. Spend time with your lighting. It's really, really important. Next would be animation. And we've seen a lot of great renders drop the ball with poor animation. You could have a great story. It could be lit very well. So much is going for it. And then the animation is just janky and it doesn't quite fit. It's such a bummer. It's such a bummer because we want to push it through to top 100. But then the animation is just so glaringly like there wasn't enough time put into it, or you're just not a good animator at this moment in time and weren't able to get it up to snuff. That it's like we can't let it go through to top 100. It's such a bummer. There's always a handful of renders like that in the challenge we do, which serves, I think, this next point. Focus on what you're good at during these challenges. Focus on your strengths. Focus on your strengths. If you're not good at animation, don't try and do some crazy animation. You know what I mean? Keep it simple. Come up with an idea that serves your strengths and doesn't force you to, like, you know, focus on your weaknesses, I guess. I guess that's all I'm trying to say. And the last thing that we're looking for is just like composition, right? If your vehicle is just up here the whole time, it's like, I want the camera to tilt up, but you can't do that because the fourth rule is don't touch the camera. Good composition is, it's I don't know, makes a render look nice. Back down here. Like, how are you placing the objects in your scene? You know, golden ratio, all that kind of stuff. You know, does a, let's see, a sphere down here look better if it's over here or over here or up here or right here? Where does it look best, you know? This is kind of like, I don't know, that's kind of nice. The way it's like peeking out from the back, from the bottom there. That's kind of nice.
Well,
I don't know, it's a move, maybe. Something down here, perhaps. It's just where you place your objects and how they look pleasing to the eye. That's composition. how you frame your. I mean, the frame is chosen for you. It's how you put the objects in relation to the frame. I think you guys get it. Yeah, some look pleasing, and some don't.
Një ide tjetër që merrti.
So that's kind of what we're judging all this stuff off of,
Po
guys. Story
lep
being
nga ajo që do
the main one,
të
because you can do all of this stuff and have a flashy, fancy
është
looking
mund bësh
6-second
domethënë
render.
e para
But the
remsa
ones
t'i
with
bashkon.
story are really
Edhe bën
gonna
sikur
hit
është
hard.
pjesë
They're
të
gonna go
garash.
beyond just that looks cool and be like, wow, that
Momentin
actually
që
gives me an
arrin domethënë
emotional
nga fundi
reaction.
skenës sikur
I mean,
i
it's
çaj
the whole
toma edhe
reason,
duke u rreshit del nga kamera.
Luigi
Domethënë na
won
bën
first place
wobble
in
në një
Eternal
moment edhe
Ascent
thjesht ikën
with his
djathtas.
character walking up the steps with his hands up toward the cops, but on his back was a bomb that the cops could not see, only the audience could see. That's crazy. That's an insane story. So that's what we mean by that. Yes, this is funny, guys. Okay, Ablums is asking a great question. We actually took this out
Atë e sigurt që do e
on
bën.
like the last day. The template shows the scene is relatively flat. Can you make it appear as if the entire
Unë
scene
them
is going
kjo me
downhill?
pjesën e raketës dhe me ndërtesën do
100%.
jetë shumë
100%.
nice. Siç thash, përfshin
Toto, if you're
animacionin,
around,
përfshin
if you can pop that question up.
atë
It's a good question.
historinë
So,
deri diku.
Before, we almost launched this whole thing like this.
Shkryti një të komentet.
Right? So we had the whole thing
Pyes
set up
vetën
like
sa
this.
vite do bëjmë
going
kështu
downhill.
me këto Megatron
like a
dhe
big downhill
edhe Transformation.
And we realized it's a bit difficult if it's baked in. It's a bit difficult to work with. Anytime me or Visual was playing with the scene, and like adding to it and creating stuff,
Unë pra ne po them, ajo do jetë shumë
became
basic,
difficult
ndërsa kjo
to like,
kur po thoja për
you
punë
know, if you want to add stuff on the road, you're gonna have to rotate literally everything. It's a pain. So we would always zero it out.
Por
We
e
would zero out our
dakord, e
road.
kam llafin basic
order
në
to work on
sensin
it.
që kam për ta bërë
And
gjithë.
we realized, you know what? It's
Që
just
të
gonna be
jesh i
easier for
veçantë, unë mendova
everyone
këtë pjesën
we
me drita.
gave them the template zeroed out so that they could easily work on their scene. It's gonna be convoluted if we didn't do it this way. But the answer is yes. Yes, you can tilt your scene.
Ose kanë
You
thjesht
can
për
tilt
të
your
bërë
scene.
kafsh.
If you
Do bëjnë
want
kafsh, sigur
them
janë të
going a
vrapu.
little higher,
Po diun.
or say jumping up into the sky or something. Maybe that's how you change your horizon. I think that's exactly how you change your horizon. I think we got our answer. Yep. You can't change the camera, but you can change the horizon
Ti
line.
mund të bësh.
I know that's changing the camera technically, but that is in relation to everything. It's locked in, right? We're still getting the same camera move. We're just changing the relationship to the horizon. And I think there can be some really cool stuff. You guys experiment with this. That's a great question. Really, really good question, Ablums. Visual, people are asking for the explanation on the Gnomon Workshop pre-course process. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know right now. I will get that answer for you guys though. I want to make it as easy as possible and just make sure that when you click that link, it goes to the free page. I'll look into it for you. At this moment in time, I don't have the answer. Let's see, Lorenzo Richmond, can we retime the jump curve? Like, retime the jump curve. Aren't you saying like, right now, let's make an example. So right now, what we have is this. From side view. And we have the jump going from like this to like this, yeah? This is the template. This is your 6 seconds right here, right up in here, 6 seconds. Boom. Now you're asking, can you do like, can you do this, retime the jump curve? In this case, this is question number 2 explained. If you guys look on the website, question number 2 explained. This is a miniature gap, and that would not be allowed because this airtime, let's say this airtime, I guess the short answer is, as long as your airtime is the same, then it's okay. So let's say this airtime here is like 2.5 seconds, and you want to do something like this. Instead of like this, it's like this, and you're gonna jump this, and this is 2.5 seconds right in here. It's still the same amount of airtime, then yeah, I'd say go for it. If you can figure out a way to like maintain the camera angle, because when you change this, it might come with you having to change the camera, and if that's the case, then no, it would not work. But if you can make this work with the existing camera, then yeah, I think that would be kind of cool. I'm curious to see how that would work. All right, what else we got? We use
În
add-ons.
fact, nu că e vândut.
You think yes,
Să
but double checking. Yes.
ce să
go
vede
for it.
camera
We use add-ons.
grie pak na airtime. Kurios na
Again, if you guys are asking
just capăt
questions,
funcționă.
please include what you think the answer would be in your comment. It's gonna
Eu
help me answer
practic
these
la
questions.
nu dă pregăt fără camera. Și o fac eu.
Captain, I'm looking at you.
Dai pe FML1 că... Popra. Po. Prendai
Can
pe
I show
FM
behind
și
the scenes
ai
of
să
the
ca să
render
funcționeze
on the website?
camera
Which
și na
render?
vizie pe un moment.
The one that we're looking at right now? I don't know if Visual rendered any wireframe with this.
Nu trebuie să for drifting, but nu trebuie să
All right,
bună prezent pe
Elpery is
mie
asking,
că
not sure if you
agina
covered this
tăria.
yet, but any tips on making a
Do
great
să
transition? What would you
ai što
focus on
vietă na
looking
sa
at,
povnea
the
sem
first
tani
or the last
Amerikani
frame?
ka pas fuqishëm.
Well, I guess when we were building this template, we wanted an anticipation for the lead up to the jump. We wanted a moment where it's like the audience can get excited about the jump they're about to go off of. Like, oh my god, I can't wait to see this vehicle go off of this jump based on the environment they're in. So
Dar
that's
mare
kind
la
of how
un
we built the
PS100.
template. And like, can you tweak the jump? Like, yeah, you can absolutely tweak the jump. So like, can it be like this? Or can it be like this? Yeah, absolutely. You know, could it go from small to wide? Like, of course, absolutely. It's just important to go off the jump. Right. These are already giving me some different ideas. Right. So obviously it goes off to the right there, so you would need to have some road if this was a car. But what would you focus on? Okay, yeah. So that was our initial thought, was like anticipation for the lead up to this jump. Right? And then the kind of down here we have like a reveal. It's like a reveal of an environment, or what's down here? Why are they going off a jump? That's a question you want to ask yourself. Why are they going off of a jump? Is it just because it's cool? Or is it because they're being chased? Or is it because they're chasing somebody? Did they not know the jump was there? Are they breaking through like road under construction signs? Is there something down here that they didn't know about? And on like a good transition on like a final frame, I don't know. Why are they turning off? Why are they leaving? You know, this gets into story, justifying the actions. Why is this person piloting this vehicle doing what they're doing? Is what you want to ask yourself. And I think that if you're asking yourself that along the way while you create, I think it'll give you a lot of really specific ideas.
Okay, ce-o să dăm în
If you put yourself in the shoes of the character doing this jump, you'll find out a lot, and I think you're going to unlock a lot of unique ideas.
Për pjesën e shpërthimit e këto?
That's like the multiple layers down version.
Ce-o să e marrim për pjesë që tham do...
And there's going to be a lot of renders like that, which will be awesome. I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of renders like that in Top 100.
Nuk e di a shef dot live-in tim.
I'm just trying to help you guys think about story.
E ke parasysh që ky kthehet djathtas?
Let's go back to questions.
Momentin që kthehet djathtas, këtu të vi diçka, domethënë te kamera.
Elfrey, you said you meant at the point where a submission would change to the next submission. I guess I'm not...
Mund të jetë një makinë për plasme, edhe sigur kamera është ajo që po e ndjek. Kamera për plasat me makina. Që është e përplasur aty.
I showed endless engines as an
example. Mund të jetë për shembull raketë, siç theti, edhe për plasat e kamerës, si më thon.
Hope you guys understand that, right? But this doesn't have to loop
perfectly. Merdi si ide. Mund të jetë domosdoshmë diçka, një pengesë që ky bën swerve.
Find 100 here. These are not looping perfectly. We're cutting on the action. You'll see this in fight scenes and like every movie ever. We're cutting on the action. We got a card draw. We got a stretch. I really appreciate that. Ariel J, thank you. Let's get the stretch on. So yeah, obviously all this stuff is not looping. It's not looping perfectly. There's no way we'd be able to get a perfect seamless loop with the template as is. But we're cutting on the action, and that's more than plenty. That will serve the montage for sure. I hope that answers your question. Ariel J, what's up? Let's get a stretch. Little arms and shoulders. Thank you. I appreciate it. You asked, if we have a car go off a ramp and then turn into a plane, do you still need a solid object to land on the other side? Well, here's the thing. Like, you can do airplanes as long as you keep the sense of speed. The sense of speed is achieved by having some sort of close object to the plane that kind of reminds you of how fast this airplane is going. So 100%, you can have a car turn into an airplane. It just needs to kind of swoop back down, and like, we need to be reminded of the sense of speed. If you look at rule number 2 explained on the website, or in the announcement video, you see that we did like a, I'll just show it to you here. Let's see. Let's go. Assets. Rule example. Rule 2. Good. This one. So assuming there's like a checkerboard pattern over this asteroid or whatever, or I don't know. You're gonna you can tell how fast the airplane's going because the ground is rushing underneath it. All the asteroids around it are like also references of how fast this thing is going. Right, so this airplane isn't landing. It's just, it's a low flyby kind of a vibe. That's just one example. That's just one way you can have a vehicle that's not a car
Infatti
feel
mi
like
ave
it's still
para
moving
pushim.
quickly
So,
and
si
follow
papuns,
the jump
shpejav shumë
animation.
relaksuse,
It's this
po.
airtime. It's this perceived
Kam
airtime that
nisi
we're going
punë
for.
tjetër, kështu që.
So yeah, you can do that kind of stuff for
Po e
sure.
bëjna puna tani pushimet.
Let's get that stretching. We still got some stretching to do.
Ah,
I appreciate the super chat and the support.
Domethënë të fillojmë të shajmë. S'ka rëndësi kemi.
Është ndriti vetë.
Po, po. Shumë.
Nils Lauren is asking, the rules say not to mess with the camera. Does that include the depth
do
of
bën?
field? You would assume no. You are correct. That doesn't include the depth of field. It doesn't include the shutter speed. It doesn't include tasteful camera shake. It doesn't include any of that stuff.
Është
those
initial
things
idea
don't
që
break
dhe
the
me
montage.
makinë. So mund ta bësh
And I do want to make sure that depth of field is included on the website. So let me double check.
Shumë bukur.
We'll go
Po, kështu dy
to
dhe Leon.
rules. We'll see, don't touch the camera
për të një
or use the
po
provided
është vjetër.
camera. Okay. There's an FAQ on this. FAQs.
Po deadline.
And you know what? There should be a linked FAQ.
31
Use
thoshte.
the provided camera. Yeah, I think Folio, it would be a good, if Folio's listening right now, it'd be a good to have like the FAQs for details like we have with No Generative AI, more info. You click it, it goes to the FAQ. We should probably have that for the camera. But I know there's one in here. Let me just Control F for camera. Can I touch the camera? You can add camera shake, depth of field, and or motion blur. Yep. So that's okay. That's okay. That's on the website. It would be helpful to have that little link there. Again, Folio, if you're listening, just a little see more, click for details, kind of a little button, just like this. Would be nice. Thanks for your question. Oh, Steve, Sensei Steve is up in here. What's up, Steve? You gotta hop out, but hit me up if you need anything. Hope you're doing well, dude. Love you, man. Thanks for being here and hanging out. I appreciate it. Yeah, dude, it's been a minute. We gotta catch up. Nils, good question and no worries. Just want to help y'all think for yourselves, give you the info to find all this yourselves. Because I know there'll be questions. There'll always be questions. This is your guys' resource right here. Go check out all this stuff. Read through this. Yeah, does there need to be a gap between the two ramps, or can it be a hilly road? Yeah, hilly road is totally fine. Again, we're just going for airtime. We're going for airtime. This can be the deepest pit in the world, or it can be a hilly road in between here. That's totally cool. Totally cool. As long as you get that airtime. All right. SC Reconcile asks, you mentioned lighting for a main judging point, but what makes good lighting? Okay. Yep. All right, let's see if I can do this. I'm gonna need examples of good and bad lighting. I could just go through. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can do this. Let me see if I can do this. All right. Let me see if I can pull up some examples of good and bad lighting. Let's go back to Chasm's Call and see what we can see. All right. So let's pull up the all renders montage, and we'll pull up the top 100. And I'm just gonna scrub through here, and I'm not trying to put any artists down. I know we're all on our own adventures,
Șef la alții, păi
our own
bravo.
journeys. And I promise to be
Well,
nice, okay? These all look pretty sick. Like, I'm scrubbing through this, I'm like, man, I can't really find any. But like, we usually get some renders that are pretty flat, that are just lit by an HDRI.
Eu
Let
capăt
me see if I can find
balcon.
one of those renders that are just lit by an HDRI. Okay, this one's interesting. This one, like, it's difficult to find where the light source is on this one. Like, it's lit from the top only, but it's pretty harsh. And I think this one just needs a bit, like, I think it's like render quality, you know, you can see the edges, sharp edges and everything. Let me try and find another example. Maybe this one. Yeah, it's just flat. You see how it's flat, right? And you could say it's like overcast, but there's still you're still shaping the light with overcast lighting. Yeah, I'd say this is a good example of like a flat, kind of a flat lit. There's no shape to it. Versus, let's see if I can find another example of like a similar style render. We can go under stylized perhaps. Again, thank you to the artists here. That I'm pulling up as examples. I know it's I know I didn't ask, but I'll be nice, I promise. Where you at, stylized? Here we go. So this is pretty nice. You see how like there's shape to this, right? There's bright parts, there's darker parts. It guides your eye. Let's see. What I do, by the way, like what I did back when I was at Rocket Jump was I pulled up like my favorite movies. And I'm going to show you this really quick. I'm going to show you this. Let's see. No, it's up in the archive. Pictures. Cinematography. Okay, so what I did was I pulled snapshots from my favorite movies that just looked nice. Because my job was to light the scene in a pleasing way. So here's Blade Runner as an example. I'm like, wow, this is awesome. I love this look. It feels really cinematic. It's focused on his face. Zoom in a little bit here. And I'm just asking myself how, like, this looks nice to me. How would I recreate this? So I think it's finding examples of what looks good to you and trying to replicate them. Maybe this is the best way to explain it. So like you see here, he's not just a silhouette. If you squint, it's a silhouette, but if you look closely, there's like this little catch light right here on his nose. You can see it in his eye right here as well. He's backlit too, so his like shoulder is popping out really nicely. There's depth to him. The rain coming off of him is lit. It's not just a flat surface here. Same here. Look at this edge light. If that edge light wasn't there, or this light back here wasn't there, it just wouldn't feel like this. I mean, obviously, but these are the things that are making this feel good to me. All the rain on his face, you can see in his eyes, there's a light right in front of him, just underneath him. There's a light off to the side here, coming from this left side. So what I do is I just look at the things that I like and ask myself, how are they being lit? This one is actually here in LA, in downtown LA. And we have, everything's kind of like lit from the top here, and it's all foggy, right? All this fog is diffusing the light in a really nice way, but it's only up there. It's not down here, which is cool. the light from back here, it looks like it's coming in from the top, from the skylight. There might be something up here too, like right behind here, that's lighting up this wall. It looks like there's something over here. You can see like the light beam. It's really catching the grating of this metal here, and it's probably doing this as well, lighting this. And it's catching all these shapes. It's defining, the lighting is defining all the shapes in the scene. This is beautifully lit. This is like actually insane. I don't even know, like there's probably so many lights in this scene here. It's really, really hard to know where all this stuff. This is like master level. One of these characters is an android. But which one? Yeah, this is crazy. This is like so well lit. Everything, like it's very what's the word? I don't know. Chiaroscuro, is that the lighting style? I didn't go to art school, y'all. I just know this looks good, and it feels very old school. It feels very like reminiscent of. I think I have Barry Lyndon in here. I don't. Brutal, but Barry Lyndon has some insane lighting like that. Let's find another one. So here's an overcast example where I would say like things are more flat. They're not as contrasty and dark as the other examples. But it feels right. There's still dark areas. There's still light areas. We can tell what's going on here. This one's playing with color. He's definitely warmer than everything else. And this is all probably natural lighting and lifted with, like, they probably have a light. You know what? Who knows, honestly, with this? This could be in a studio. It's a close-up. But they're doing a great job of it. Looks natural. There could be a bounce light over here, just kind of pushing this a little bit. If you're always wondering, like, where the lights are, you can look at their eyes and see where the highlights are. This one feels good because the sun direction, it's coming from the back. You can tell. Look at the shadows. Where are the lights? Look at the shadows. Right? You got the warm, cool contrast going, the cool shadows, the warm highlights. And they're backlit, edge lit. It's kind of like that golden hour vibe. The background is dimmed down because of all the smoke, which makes these guys pop out a lot. Same here, you can read the silhouettes here because of all the atmosphere in the air. This one's sick. This is another great example of golden hour lighting where these guys pop out from the building because they're lit by, quote unquote, the sun. I'm sure they're using some lights for all of this and some diffusion for all of this, but they're really popped out. If that light wasn't there, they would just blend in with the wall, with the building. This is composition, boom. This actor is center framed in the door. All three of these guys, perfect triangle, center framed in the door, standing here, beautiful example of good composition. Right, so again, I would just snapshot the art you love, ask yourself why it looks good, and think about how it's breaking out. This is like really just pulling reference of look and feel and breaking down the reference and asking the questions. Where did they put the lights? Why does this look good? Why does this feel good? Anyway, that's a very long answer, but I love this stuff. I could flip through this and talk about this all day. Okay, yeah. Nub, or something like that. Says it's made to look like a Baroque painting. Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds about right to me. Looks like a painting. Yes, it looks like a painting. Absolutely. Here's another one. Wow. Jeez. One more, just because it's fun. I love this. Baraka. Don't think there's any naked people in this, so we're good. If you guys hadn't seen Baraka, it's one of my favorites of all time. It's a tour of the world without dialogue. Just music and beautiful images. Oh, come on. Gosh dang it. Ah! There we go. This is all composition. This is really good stuff. Great examples of composition. Composition. Somewhere in India, I think. Lighting is insane. It's that golden hour lighting. It just looks so nice because it really like makes everything pop out. Like a pop-up book. Everything becomes 3D. There's depth to everything because it's catching the edges of everything and it's defining the shape of everything in your scene. Good example of like
architectura.
Working with negative space. Yeah, this is really interesting. Really interesting setups. All right, enough on lighting.
Okay.
Let's get back to your questions.
Do parsi film.
Great question, y'all. Great question. All right. Hawkwig is asking if I have any tips on creating environments, large-scale environments, but without making your PC explode. Yeah. Let's see here. So I guess it depends on what program you're using. I can speak to Unreal Engine. Like, I think Unreal Engine is just built in a way that can handle that kind of stuff. I got into procedural content generation. Back with like my Pompeii video, recreating Pompeii procedurally. And it's doing exactly that. It's basically scattering a bunch of points around a landscape and you define what 3D objects are going to populate those points. And you can scatter hundreds of thousands of points, populate the environment, and walk around it in real time. It's just crazy. Unreal is built so well. But I would say, like, I don't know, use as low poly objects as you can, because they're gonna stack up really quick. Your computer will blow up. More VRAM is going to help you with this. This is what VRAM is good for. The more VRAM you have, the more objects you can have in your scene without your computer exploding. Also, like, if your computer just can't handle it, then maybe you just shouldn't do an idea that's going to put your computer in a situation like that. This is, again, like work toward your strengths. So maybe a more minimalist stylized scene would serve your computer better. Yeah, use instances of things. Don't use just raw geometry. Instance your stuff if you're going to be copy pasting it around. I would also always download, like when you're talking about downloading textures and downloading assets, download the lowest res version of that texture or asset and use that, so that your scene is built off of the lowest res stuff possible. And then at the end of the process, or just as you go through, you'll notice, hey, I can tell this looks low res. So then maybe you upgrade it to like the 2K version, or that's probably all you're gonna need is the 2K version. I don't think you're gonna need 4K textures. So build it from like that lower base, as opposed to building everything with 4K textures. Your computer explodes, and then you have to switch everything out for like 512 by 512, and that's just gonna waste a lot of time. I guess that's my my stuff there. Yeah, visual, good stuff. For the video on the website, you said you used alpha trees for the background. So this stuff is just an alpha card. It's not geometry. I love it. Good stuff. Okay, is anything else? V is asking, can we have the vehicle be in 12 FPS and the scene in 24 FPS? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Animating on 2s is fine. Yep. Your final export needs to be in 24. Everything else will fall into the pit of despair. But you can totally have everything be on 2s as long as your final export is in 24. The Maverick Makers ask, when is my birthday? My birthday was yesterday. I managed to get a little bit of Wii Spa time in, which was good. A little bit of relaxing. I was literally at the spa with my laptop, like, fixing things. But I had to do it from the spa because, god dang it, it was my birthday. I got some tennis in as well. It was good. Mohit is asking, does the surface where the vehicle lands need to end in an upward pointing ramp like the template, or can it end with a flat surface, like maintain the same position? Yeah, you're good to have it end with a flat. The important thing is that you just go off the jump, right? So like you can have it so that it's just a road that goes off into the distance and there's no jump they're about to go off of. You can totally do that. The important thing here is just this jump here. And I guess in hindsight, we probably could have taken out that second lip back there from the template. Just to make things like, we really do want to make things as clear as possible for you guys. And yeah, we want to make it as clear as possible. But there's only, there's always one thing. There's always one thing. Like me uploading an 1.5 hour long video. Oh my god, I can't believe I did that. Oh, I'll have to trim it right after this. That's why it's important to get your rest, guys. Get your sleep. Double check your stuff. Thanks for all the happy birthday wishes, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you. I think that's it, y'all. If we don't have any more pressing questions, that might be it. Hey, we got the word from Jenga. The site is live. The site is live. So go get your Elemental Suite free for the month. Yeah. Go do it. Get in there, y'all. Get in there. Yay. Thank you. What's up? DEFCON Studios, can your object crash in the second ramp, meaning it can't loop? It can crash, but it's got to go off to the right somehow. It has to exit frame. It has to exit frame. So I don't know how you're going to do it, but I'm sure you can figure it out. I'm sure you can figure it out. But yeah, it can crash as long as it goes off frame right. Does it get T-boned by a truck? I don't know. Does it barrel roll and hit a pole? I don't know. Good luck, y'all. Good luck. Have fun. I'll be with you guys on the Discord side of things, if you're not part of the Discord server, it's free. Click that link down in the description. It's under the join the community little area there. And get up in there, ask the questions, have fun with all the other artists, show off your work, your works in progress, all that good stuff. I'll be streaming every Friday this month, so I'll be here with you guys on Friday. I'll either be taking a look at your works in progress, I'll be answering more questions for sure, and maybe I'll be working on a little intro scene myself. We'll see how much time I have. Oh, and before we wrap too, we're gonna hit that weekly challenge. Thanks for the reminder, Submonte. Absolutely. In fact, let's switch over to the weekly challenge right now. Yeah. All right, guys. So as you know, when we're not doing these 3D community challenges, we're doing weekly challenges on our Discord server. And I think last month, did our 200th weekly challenge, which is crazy, super cool. So I'm going to judge that right now. I'm going to show off the winners, and then we're going to hit some honorable mentions as well. And throughout this month, we're also going to judge some of the unjudged weekly challenges. So by the end of this challenge, we should have everything wrapped up and judged properly. So let me full screen Sotomonte's screen share so I can see what's going on. We can announce some winners. So the prompt here was to reimagine any one of the other 199 weekly challenge prompts. So our first winner is Under. Yes. One of our mods on the server, putting together this beautiful piece. This is a great example of great lighting. The objects in the scene are popped out. You see the girl silhouetted against the back there. She's got that like nice golden hour light. Same for this statue. It's really popped out from the background there. Beautiful piece, good color, good lighting, good composition. Super solid. Congrats, Under. Next up, we got Rohit. Yes, very creepy. I think this was actually one of Visual's submissions that Rohit reimagined and did a great job of it too. Great color. Again, great composition, great lighting. Got that edge light. Really nice render quality here. Super creepy idea. Great choice. Next up, we got Manishka. Ah, so good. So good. Manishka, you kill it every time. You really do. I can't wait to see what you do for this challenge. Really well lit. Great render quality. Great tech, like everything. Firing on all cylinders. Super solid. Just love that color so much. So good. Yeah, all the lighting coming into play here. Really know what you're doing, Manishka. Next up, our fourth winner, the 200th weekly challenge is Jack the Hack, putting together this beautiful environment, beautifully lit. I love that foreground, that like shadowy foreground. It really makes you focus on the character there, the hut. They're very small in the scene, but man, that environment really takes over the whole thing. I think the only thing is like the sky. I see what you're doing there. I kind of go with that red-green contrast, but it's just personal taste. Maybe it needs to be a bit more contrasty or blue. I don't know. That's not even a note. That's just me being, I like blue. Good stuff, Jack. I appreciate you. Also one of our moderators. Thanks for holding it down. All right. Magnapine. This is awesome. Really, it's like stylized, it's simple. The composition is on point. Love those colors. Love the lighting. Beautiful render you got there. Congratulations to our 200th weekly challenge winners. Now we got a handful of honorables
Se rendere, scusa.
that I just want to shout out. So
dai.
this first one, who is this? Ah,
Dove zicciusa te.
they They didn't include their Discord name in
Oh,
the file name. They didn't read the rules. Read the rules, y'all. Read the rules. So I don't know who this is, but it looks cool. Love your character. And I love the style on this. Good color, good style, good times. Jabobo. Yes. Oh, yes. This is a very well lit scene here. Very striking. Very messed up. Very messed up. What a great depiction of that moment in history. Good stuff. Very good stuff. Next one is also an artist who we don't know who this is, but it looks cool. I like it. I like that little character. I think it's lit well. That little happy face on the bottle cap there is nice. Good stuff. We got Lost Waldo next. The Ghibli inspired scene. Freaking beautiful. Really nice. I think the only one on this one is like composition feels a little off with the pole being like right up against the frame on the right there.
oh,
I wonder if you could maybe rotate the camera around so it's more flat on the wall or something, or go the opposite direction, like move it to the right, perhaps. Move the pole to the left a little bit. Yeah, I think it's just playing with those objects in the scene. Also, it would be nice to have
endorsed
something in
not
that
a
window,
grease pencil,
maybe a
just
cat or something, because it is right where my eye goes to, because it's the most saturated and the darkest point of the image, but nothing's there. So I'd probably add something there if you're trying to draw the eye to that point. We got MDK. I love it. Your mini worlds are so much fun to look at.
que
They're
é
so
super.
detailed. It really makes me want to like play like Civilization or something, or just do like an isometric challenge or something. I don't know. I just love it. Yeah, good lighting, fun world, just good stuff overall. And who's next? Ensemble. Yep, I think doing another piece by Visual. But yeah, really well lit. Love the color contrast. Good stuff with the orange blue. Really nice render quality. Just want to shout you out, man. Good stuff. And lastly, we got Swizzlefish. This is another example of like using the silhouette to show off your story here. Right? We can clearly see, you can't miss it. It's dead center. Right? You got the kid there with the cat jumping to the kid. It's good stuff. You did a good job with it. Very, very nice. So yeah, congrats. Congrats to all the 200th weekly challenge winners, the honorable mentions. Points will be assigned soon, and we'll be doing the rest of the weekly challenges throughout the month as we do these streams. So thank you guys. Thanks for keeping the community alive. It's really cool. Yeah, it's freaking awesome. To do 200 of these is insane. I remember we started our first one back in COVID in probably 2019 if I had to guess. And I think it was Plant was maybe, or Book was one of the first ones. It was us just here on a live stream doing this every week. It's really cool that it's come so far and that we're still doing it. It's pretty wild. Yeah, congrats everybody. All right, y'all. I think that's it. I think that's a wrap. We're gonna call it. I gotta wrap up some stuff. I gotta do some housekeeping for the challenge. I gotta edit that hour video down to 15 minutes, like what it's supposed to be. Oh, brutal. Good luck, everybody. Good luck. I will see you next Friday at 10:45 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, PDT. We're on now. And in the meantime, just take some time to sit with your ideas. You don't have to rush into an idea so fast, all right? But I'll see you on the Discord server. You'll have a good one. Catch you soon. Peace.